The Forest Revisited. Is it worth a buy? Let's read again. Are these still the same words? I don't know if these are the same words, but we'll read them anyway. As a lone survivor of a passenger jet crash, you find yourself in a mysterious forest battling to stay alive against a society of cannibalistic mutants. Sounds pretty much the same. I last looked at this game 2.5 years ago, and I said I'd revisit it in 3 months. So I'm here 2.5 years later to have a look at it. I've been looking at this game over the last few days to see what's changed, to see if it's worth a buy, because the last time I did it, I think I thumbed this down due to the fact that it was so early access that there was hardly even a game there to be played, and it was completely strewn with bugs. Pathfinding bugs were just hilarious. There was lots of collision bugs, falling through the earth bugs, and various other things. There wasn't really a game there, to be honest. It was just building a few things and having a few fights with some natives running around like idiots. So what they've done in the last 2.5 years is they've upped the graphics a little bit more, and I want to say that most of the footage you're going to look at here is filmed on my 770. I've done that specifically so that you can see whether it still runs okay on an older machine. So it's an i7 with a 1070 in it, not a 1070, a 770 in it, and it's running fine. I haven't got it on maximum, I've got it on medium settings, but it runs absolutely fine. It doesn't look as good as it does on my 1070. Here's some footage from the 1070 so you can see the difference. So 770 footage, and this is 1070 footage. So what's changed then? Well, the pathfinding is still not perfect, but it is a big improvement on what it was the last time I played. The combat, I didn't really notice much difference in the combat. Blocking, stabbing, throwing spears and all that, you can still do all of that. You can't build a massive amount of weapons, but you've got the rudimentary weapons here. You can build Molotov cocktails and things like that. Spears, bow and arrows. You can upgrade spears using bones from humans. The crafting, this game is all about pretty much the crafting, I would say. There's so much more crafting to do now than there was when I last played. You can build custom buildings as well now. I mean, back when I last played, you could only build 2 or 3 little huts, and that was pretty much it. Now you can build lots of different huts. There's a whole book on things that you can craft, traps for various animals, and bear in mind this is a survival game. It's one of the first survival games. I'm a bit disappointed that it's still in early access after all this time. I mean, it released on the 30th of May in 2014, and you know, it is a Unity engine. It's not like they had to build an engine, and you know, it still doesn't seem to have progressed a long way. I mean, you've got a lot more buildings, better graphics and better AI, but I think the biggest inclusion is the story and co-op and multiplayer. Now the story revolves around your son Timmy, who was kidnapped by the cannibals when the plane crashed, and you've got to find clues around the forest, the island that you're on, to find out where he is and go and rescue him if indeed he's still actually alive. That's the game. It isn't finished yet, the story, but you can progress a long way into it. To do that, you've got to build yourself a camp, a protective camp, set up some traps around there, build yourself some weapons, store yourself some food, and that is fun. It is fun to do, and there's natives trying to stop you who will try to eat you. If they knock you out, they'll drag you into a cave that's full of nasty surprises, and if you can get out of the cave and get back to your home, you can carry on your journey. You can save the game once you've built a little hut shelter. You can go in there and just save your game, which is a nice touch. So it's got everything, all the ingredients for a nice survival game. There's plenty to build, plenty to do, and the added incentive of now having co-op on private servers has got to be a big plus for this game. I mean, co-op is probably the biggest draw for me. I don't know how many players you can go up to, but I wouldn't have thought you'd want a lot of players, and this is kind of the kind of co-op game you'd want to play with maybe 2 or 3 people, because if you had too many it would be pretty boring, and that is a downer to this game. You're going to run out of things to do once you've built everything and you've kind of got used to attacking the cannibals and being attacked by the cannibals, because there's not really a lot else to do. But you have to also bear in mind that this game only costs $10.99. It's not in the same price bracket as the likes of Rust and 7 Days to Die. I mean, we're talking, it's only a few pounds cheaper, but you know, a pound's a pound, a pound's a pound, a pound's a pound, a pound. So it's good value for money. It's going to get a thumb up. It's actually progressed from a thumb down to a thumb up now. It's a good exploration survival game that you can get immersed into. The sounds are great as well. It does put you on edge when daytime is turning into nighttime and you hear the jungle sounds, you hear the noise of natives in the background that are coming to look for you. You've got the fire glowing around all the greenery. It's really nice and immersive. And so the forest has improved enough to get a thumb up. So it's still in early access. Wish it was finished, but there you go. It's now worth a buy.